Hello, my dear sweet Cancers. This is Jamie Dawn, your professional psychic advisor, and I'm bringing to you your Saturn and Capricorn video, and this is for the next 2.5 years as Saturn moves into Capricorn on December 19th, and for you, it's going to be sitting in that 7th house. Now, Capricorn is exalted. Actually, Saturn, is exalted in that 7th house in Libra. Now, the one thing about Saturn sitting in the 7th house is that it can offer feelings of isolation and restriction when it comes to relationships and partnerships, and in particular, the marriage. Now, not necessarily marriage of romance, though that could be for many of you attached Cancerians, but also the marriage between the masculine and the feminine within yourself. So you may find that there is feelings where you isolate one side of you or the other, and I would say that that's probably going to be the biggest thing, is that you want to be careful not to isolate yourself if you can. The Saturn sitting in that 7th house is going to actually offer you the ability to be able to find greater growth within yourself through the partnerships that you have accumulated or made up until this point. It may also be that you will remove the restrictions, those relationships that have felt restrictive to your own personal growth. So Cancers, you're going to find that there's going to be some clutter clearing that goes on in the area of partnerships. This could be personal, it could be professional, it could be familial. Now, the other thing with Saturn sitting here is that if there was any theme that you could keep in mind, and that is growth. This is your greatest potential for self-mastery in the area of self-awareness. And how do you grow? There's going to be a pain point. I will say, Saturn sitting in that 7th house, there may be a feeling of loss that happens when it comes to relationships. Now, the loss could just be the idea. Maybe you finally let go of the fantasy, the idea that you had of a particular relationship in your life. It could also be that you're needing to stabilize and integrate this fantasy or idea of what you wanted out of the ideal partnership, and you need to put it into form, because remember, Saturn needs to make form out of ideas. It needs to make form out of the mental and even spiritual realm. And so this can be one or the other, where you find restriction that you held yourself in because you were keeping some sort of idea at arm's length, or a person at arm's length. You may find that if you bring them into you and you're not isolating yourself from that situation or from that pain point, that you strengthen your relationship. So let me be more practical, because I know Saturn likes its practicality. Practically, you may have to be the one to say the apology. You may have to be the one that actually reaches out to that person and presents the olive branch. You may need to be the one who has the diplomacy. And if you feel like you want to belong to a particular person or group or family or whatever that partnership looks like to you, you may have to be the one who negotiates it. You have to be the one to assert yourself. Saturn is going to challenge you that if you want to grow, you have to get uncomfortable in your partnerships. Now, the one thing too that this Saturn in Capricorn transit could provide to you is you will start to see where your relationships have been restricting you from your own self-worth, from your own ability to express yourself how you need to monetarily. You may find that your partner has been draining you, emotionally, mentally, monetarily, material, whatever. So that feeling of restriction around those manifestations in partner that go along with partnership, you may have to start extricating yourself from that. Could go either way. Think of it this way though, no matter what you choose, it's an opportunity for growth. And that's what we're here to do, is to evolve. If you need to talk to me, if you want more information, you know where to find me, jamiedawn.com. Take care, sweet Cancer.